It's Zen time, baby. Oh, didn't see there. Just starting my day off, ETH validator. I just fill in the rest of my empty blocks with transactions that I want to put through for free. So, yeah, I just mint Zen. It's Zen time, baby. And I hit the big old sell button, and even that cost, that's free for me because I'm an ETH validator. So since I'm able to get the supply for free, I just wake up in the morning, a validator just using all that extra free space to mint me some extra Zen. And then if there's any value ever in the liquidity pool, I just hit the sell button and I pay 0 gas for that as well. And it's all profit for me. I love Zen. Oof. It's Zen time, boys. Yeah, all you gotta do is, set up a server, have 32 ETH, and boom. You can get Zen for free on any of these blocks that you're a part of, and you want to fill it with some extra transactions to mint Zen, boom, there you go. Free supply, actually free. Then you sell it on the market for any value that anyone thought it should have in the liquidity pool. Until all that liquidity is pooled, it will literally cost $0 to empty that liquidity pool to an ETH validator. Xen Crypto might actually be the worst crypto ever created. I can't believe it's getting all this hype. Just kind of wearing these because just trying to look like an ETH validator. What do they look like? I'm not one. This is what they would do if they were one, because it's just free. You click, I want to mint lots of Zen. It's going to cost me nothing because it's just extra block space, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. This is going to be once and for all the differentiator video between hex.com and Zen, which is basically like the anti-hex. It's like everything bad everyone thought would happen to hex happens to be Zen's problem because they didn't think the tokenomics through, and hex actually did. And I'm going to go over why hex is actually a positive sum game, and I'm going to go over some actual very interesting game theory I came up with and a way to understand this stuff so you can actually understand what value is and what costs are. It's Zen time. So one thing I want to get in front of everybody is I'm pretty happy about it. I came up with a new way of understanding buying and selling and what actually occurs whenever you buy or sell something. And I'm going to coin the term, kind of like how Richard Hart coined Hart's Law. I'm going to call this the K for K principle. When you buy, you make everyone richer. Now, when you sell, you make everyone poorer. What does that mean? Imagine there's a market, people in liquidity pools, there's people who can come in, they can come out of the market. Whenever you come into the market and you purchase and you sell something and you want that thing, you push up the price of that thing. You just push up the price and increase the value of everyone's tokens by the amount you pushed up the price. Now everyone is rich on paper. So whenever you buy, you're actually increasing the value of everyone else who holds the product. Now whenever you sell something, you're actually removing value from not only yourself, but everyone else as well. If you're going to do something in crypto, you want to actually be buying something that has good tokenomics that actually leads to more buying and less selling. Wow, groundbreaking, right, guys? It sounds super obvious, but I guess this needs to be shown to people. This is the chart for Zen. This is like 4 days after launch, and they managed to scrape together 5 ETH in the pool, which at any moment, these ETH validators can mint free amounts of Zen and then just dump it for free and extract real ETH value for free to them because they weren't going to use that space anyway, or they were just going to give themselves the gas. Like Richard says right here, some people are so stupid they think costs are benefits, gas costs are harm, not good, unless you are a validator. Then you can just use all of the remaining block space as you like, paying your own self gas as you like. Wow, I think we're actually making potentially a new low right now. As you can see, it's down 99.5% today. I think it's dropped in half by another 50% or so. I think it went down 99% in 3 days, and now it's down 99.5%. Now you're like, oh, that's only 0.5% more. That's another 50% drop, guys. It literally is losing like 50% value like every day or more. It's crazy. If you put in $100, you now have 50 cents from $100. Now that's if you bought it. Now I'm gonna actually show you guys some math, or at least describe it to you, because I did the math. So if there's 15 million gas limit per block scaling, scaling to 30 million per block, and there's 7,160 blocks per day, that's 15 million times 7,000, we're just gonna round. That's 105 billion gas per day if it doesn't get above half of the gas usage of each block. The way that Ethereum scales the size of the block is dependent on how much of the block is used. So if you use more than 50% of the block, it'll increase the block size in order to accommodate the extra capacity. Like, it increases the capacity for the more like usage of the block space, as well as increasing the GUI cost if people want to spend more to get in there. It's in proportion to like how much more. So if it's like a full block, 15 million gas, say you start the day, it's 15 million gas, it gets all the way filled up. All right. Then the next block is going to be 12.5% more actual block space. And then if that's full again all the way, then it increases by another 12.5%, up to a max of 30 million gas per block. Okay. I know this is getting pretty technical, but this is kind of important for figuring out, okay, how much could actually be minted of free Xen by validators if they so choose, or if they find out about it, which they may have after all this news gets out that, hey, you can mint this infinitely for free, and somebody actually takes the other side. Like, imagine taking the other side of something someone can just mint for free forever without purchasing it and increasing the price. So they're not doing any buying. Remember earlier we talked about when you buy, you make everyone, including yourself, richer? Well, whenever you mint Xen and create more supply, what can you do with that? You can sell it, or you can stake it, which is like LOL. Really, no one should ever interact with this project ever again. It's literally the worst project in history, I think. It's going to self-implode. There's no hope for it. If you put money into it, it's probably wiped away, or soon will be. And I'm going to explain why even further in more detail. So if there's 105 billion gas per day, and that's if it doesn't get above half the gas usage of each block. So we're assuming there's only 7.5 million of gas used in each block throughout the day, which means that the block size wouldn't increase at all. But, you know, we'd still be getting normal transactions through the day without having to increase the block size. There would be 7.5 million left to the validators who are going through, and they get randomly chosen. And then there's like a committee of other validators who check the work of the validator who's doing the calculations and creating the block and filling the transactions in there. Currently, they're getting some of that transaction fee that is the cost of all the people trying to get into the block. So there's 7.5 million gas that they can use for minting. And so it's like, okay, that means that half of the blocks in the day are able to run the free mint action during the day. Of that 105 billion gas per day, that's going to be 52.5 billion. And the gas cost, if I remember correctly, was 175,000 gas to run the mint function for Xen. So that means there's actually 300,000 free mints per day potentially. So currently we are getting about 50,000 Xen per day per one mint. So if you do a day one mint, you're probably going to get like 50,000-ish the next day, because there's so many people that pile in after, you know, until they run out of money, realizing they're not going to be able to extract any value here. Imagine 300,000 times 50,000 Xen being minted at zero cost per day. Like literally zero cost. Not, oh, it's free, I just paid a gas fee. Do you know how many people on Twitter I see saying, it's free, I just paid a gas fee? It's free, I just paid. It's free, I just paid. Anyway, if you ever buy it, you move the price down, basically, because you're adding value into the pool that speeds up the timer on someone being able to turn, even though they already are always profitable, these validators, because they're literally getting it for free. They don't pay the transaction costs because they can just do a trade fee other than the DEX fee of the total amount sold. They're not paying gas fees. So they're actually able to sell pretty much at a 100% profit in perpetuity forever at a scale no normal user will ever have. So if you're not an ETH validator, why do you like Xen? Think about it. Look at the chart. Look at the chart. How can you get worse than this chart? 99.54% down in just 4 days? Wow, and they managed to only get 5 ETH in the pool in 4 days? What is that? That is not adoption, guys. I'm sorry to tell you, but lots of bots losing lots of money, thinking that something is going to be working or worthwhile. I think they just lost all that money. So there was like $4 to $5 million spent already on just gas fees creating this stuff, and those people straight up lost their money. Because imagine you spent, just imagine all that. I know it's multiple people, maybe it's also just large bots and a few people, but imagine that's one person. So there, and then there's another guy who can get it for free. So one guy pays 5 million to get something for free. Another guy spends 0 to get it all for free as well. So first off, the one guy, validator guy, he's not putting any value into the system whatsoever. He's not, because he can just click a button and get it for free. Literally just adds it to the empty block space, and he's like, yo, just fill out these transactions with extra mints of Xen. If there's any value in the pool, it's going to be profitable. Now, eventually it'll be like, there's nothing in the pool, so there's no reason to do the free mint of Xen ever again. But until we get to reach enough people and let them know of a better crypto to get involved with, one that doesn't only go straight down, and someone convinces you it's not about price, it's about adoption, well, let me tell you, I don't think people are excited about a chart that looks like this. I've never seen a crypto do well when everyone's like, "Hey, don't think about the price. Don't look at the price. Don't look that we're 99.54% down." You can't be down that much and people stay interested for a long time. Just saying. Like, you're literally just destroying value. And sure, if you get people to use it on Binance Smart Chain or Polygon, and it's like, okay, I paid 10 cents to mint. What are you doing? Like, what'd you do? It's this, if you're just clicking a button and losing whatever you put in, because as soon as you mint it, you're already still at a worse cost basis for acquiring it, even though you didn't buy up the price, but to acquire it, it was cost to you. You destroyed value. You gave it to the ETH people, or you gave it to the BSC validator people, because they're just collecting that as a fee. They're like, oh, sweet. You would like to mint Xen that I can get for free, but you would like to pay me to make it, even though I can just make it for free. But you're also going to pay me for the privilege of being able to make it, even though I can make it for free. It's like, guys, I'm telling you, I can't think of a worse crypto to ever be invented. ETH is dropping even as I do the video. Like, it's freaking, what do they got? 4.6 ETH now. I warned people. I was the first guy to tell anybody. I came out, I made videos. I've had multiple videos now. I've been making Twitter posts. At first I was just going to ghost the whole community. It's like, oh, Xen. But it's like, if this is actually getting lots of eyeballs and we're talking to centralized exchange owners and whatnot, even though we're not talking about Hex still somehow, and we should at least get those eyeballs into something that's the best possible outcome for them, right? We shouldn't just be like, oh man, we got everybody into this thing that went to 0 and then leave it at there. Why don't we try and get that community pivoted into something that's actually good, that's been working flawlessly for over 1,000 days? 10,000x price performance. Yes, it dipped just like everything else, but after it did 10,000x price performance from the bottom. How can it do that? How can it go up so high so fast? It all comes back to that K for K principle that I came up with. When you buy, you make everyone richer. When you sell, you make everyone poorer. So in Hex, we get buyers who can not sell because they choose to not, like, you literally come in, you push up the price for everybody. Boom, you're buying up the Hex. Push up the price. You're richer now on paper. Everyone else is richer on paper. Let's go. Now, what's even better than buying up the price? Well, sometimes people like to sell when the price goes up. But what if they couldn't sell? What if you convince them to lock some value into the future, and you're going to give them some of the new inflation of the system because of their delayed gratification? They already bought up the price. They actually bought it. They didn't just click a button and get more of the supply without affecting the price or liquidity pools in a positive way. Sometimes we have guys come in with $8 million. They just buy it up, lock it, 15 years. That 8 million provides value to everyone else in the system. And so it pushes up the value for everyone on paper. Sure, people could instantly, they could sell the price back down. They're like, boom, thanks, haha, idiot, you came in and you push up the price. Well, guess what? That guy's the only one getting inflation to the system. If you're just not staked, you're not delaying your gratification, you don't get any extra free coins. If you don't come in and push up the price to be able to get some of the free coins, you don't get any. Hex actually is making people richer as they get in, as opposed to Xen, where it's making people poorer when they get in. You literally have to destroy value and give it to somebody else so that you don't have it, and everybody else who holds Xen loses value when you create more supply for no cost. Plus those guys who come in with, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, $10,000, $1,000. They're pushing up the price, helping everyone, and then they're removing their ability to sell. And you're like, well, why would they do that? Why would you do that? Like, why don't people just lock up their Bitcoin and just wait? They probably would have preferred to do that back in 2011 or 2010 or 2009. They were like, oh, why didn't I just sit on my Bitcoin and never trade it for anything? I would have got 6.9 million X returns from a penny. But instead, I traded it for something else or whatever. And it's like, well, why did they do that? They thought they could get either more return, or they thought they could get yield on their Bitcoin, or they trusted a third party, counterparty, and then they lost all their Bitcoin because they were trying to get yield on their Bitcoin. Well, guess what? In Hex, you can actually get yield without ever needing a counterparty. You just use the contract, and it's you and the contract. No one else can turn it off. No one can steal your coins. And you're actually able to just create more if you delay your gratification. If you just wait, which is the best possible investing strategy, basically. I've never heard of a trader making 6.9 million X, but people who forgot about their Bitcoin bags when it was a penny made 6.9 million X. I want to do the strategy where even if I forget what I'm doing, I make 6.9 million X. And so that's basically what Hex is you can create value for everyone else in the system, positive sum. You're increasing the value for everyone, including yourself. And then you are delaying gratification if you want to possibly stay in the market even longer. And you're like, if the best strategy is holding anyway, why not get paid to hold? Yeah, there's like 15 billion Zen that could be minted per day at zero cost basis. They can do long or short stakes or both, all no cost. Now, it would probably be significantly less than 15 billion Zen per day, because if they wanted to do a transaction to trade it to sell it for free, they would have to use one of their potential minting gas costs to sell it. Yeah, oh no, they have to mint one less time to sell the rest of their bags that they got for free. So it still ends up all being free for them. They just might get a little bit less for free. It's just crazy that anyone would ever want to enter a pool where the other side is being minted to infinity at an insanely fast pace that slows down barely over time. And people think that, oh, in 8 years it'll be better. The same exact problem scales to every amount of inflation and every amount of liquidity. I'm actually surprised that these ETH validators haven't caught on yet. It's probably just chump change to them. They're like, oh, this didn't catch on anyway. There's only 4.6 ETH of liquidity. Sure, I could spend the time to set my validator up to add mint Zen for free and sell it for free. I could auto set that up to do that constantly until I have all the money in the pool. I don't know why they haven't done that. They could still be doing that. It's just a slower process because not a lot of them have caught on. But basically, if they do that, eventually all of these, tokens of value will actually be drained. And this is just from the tokenomics, guys. Hex encourages buying and making everyone rich. Zen encourages selling. So ETH is getting bought. Zen is given to people who don't buy, they sell. Think about who gets Zen. Okay, ETH validators are getting it for free. All right, botters are spending millions in gas to get it for free. So they're actually getting rid of their Ethereum, not buying Zen. They're just getting more supply. And so what does this look like? Buyers. And then you got supply. There's no reason to buy it. As soon as you buy it, they just take the value that you put into the pool because you increase the amount of ETH in the pool if you sold ETH to buy it. And so, yeah, you're just speeding up the clock so that someone can just dump it sooner on your head that they got for free or at a lower cost basis that it's completely free to them. So good luck getting it at a better cost basis than completely zero. If you can't do that, I don't know why you're participating in this. I think there's better ways to learn in crypto. You don't have to, just because someone says something is a fair crypto, I don't see how this is fair. Validators get to mint it for free forever and just dump it forever at no cost to them. They just were like not going to use that space anyway. And they're like, oh, guess I'll just extract whatever's in the Zen pool today. Sure, maybe you only spent 10 cents on gas. But I know a lot of people thought about doing thousands of dollars worth of making a bot, spending gas, making tons of wallets. I know a guy, he spent at least 6 or 7 hours of manual labor, clicking and making accounts and spending tons and tons of money making addresses on the Ethereum chain. And what did they get for it? They get hope that one day infinite inflation isn't bad for price. I mean, I'm trying to help these people. Wouldn't you rather be told, like, if you were in the next big BitConnect thing, wouldn't you want your friends to be like, yo, dude, this is why I don't think this is sustainable. Should probably think about doing something else. Maybe get the people in BitConnect currently, get them into a better crypto that'll keep its value, as opposed to like, no, just ignore it, let it crash when it crashes, and yeah, just don't help anybody who's in a bad situation. I don't see it that way. I see it as if there's community growing there, if they're getting attention, those are potential people that could see a better crypto and actually enjoy their experience in crypto. I made a tweet that I was like, maybe it'll be like the funniest meme coin of all time or something that you can just get so much of and it'll be like a joke to send to people. Because like it should be super cheap to buy like billions or maybe eventually trillions of it or something because there's so much supply being created by validators just for free. But I think that even that activity is probably going to slow down when people realize like, oh, it was a failed experiment. Like the only people who could keep it going is basically the validators because they could do it for free. Nothing is ever really free because there's opportunity costs. It's like, well, what if someone goes to hand you $100? You're like, well, what if there was a guy to your left who was going to hand you $200 if you just went over there? So it's like that would have been a free 100, but maybe you missed out on 200 because a guy, he got offended because you took the 100. He was like, oh, why didn't you take my 200? You're not getting it now. And you're like, oh, guess that was opportunity cost. Could have got 200. Why onboard somebody to that is my question. Like imagine if you got all those people that you onboard, if there is lots of people out there in the Zen community, and not just Texicans who were poached over and talk about it now. I hope there is new people getting into crypto. That's awesome. We want more people in crypto. I just want to get you guys into the best possible stuff that you're actually going to make money on. And Hex has done extremely well because of its design. Now some people are like, oh, well, you get less rewards if you come in after other people. You just want people to buy your bags, stuff like that. That's what literally like everything else is in the world. So there's Bitcoin. All right, who gets to sell the inflation? Oh, only miners. Do they always sell it? Yes, they do. They have to pay electricity costs. They have to pay for the mining facility. They have to pay for people to run the miners. There's all of these extra negative externality costs to being a miner in these ecosystems, and that's why we paid them inflation. We're like, hey, can you guys do all this work? We'll give you some of the coins, and so you'll dilute everyone else, but thanks for keeping the network okay. And so what do people in Hex do? They buy up the price, and then they actually push out their ability to sell in order to get inflation, and there's no externalities. When the stake comes due, you unstake it, you have your interest plus your principal, plus all the price appreciation from other people who came in, pushed up the price, and pushed out their ability to sell. And so as people keep doing that and layering on top of each other, you on paper make everyone in the system more wealthy. So Zen is selling with no buyers, making everyone poorer. But the thing about Zen is like that value just keeps trending to zero, and it's only been day 4. We're only on day 4 here, and we're at 99.54% down. I don't know when people are going to change their minds or tunes on this. Some people think it's harmless. Why onboard someone to something where you're like, oh, don't buy it. Take your ETH that has value, which you pumped up the price of, increasing the value for everyone. That's what you did when you bought ETH to participate in Zen. And so you take what you had of value, destroy it, and actually you just give it over to the Ethereum guys anyway. You just give it to the ETH guys. So you could have just held Ethereum, which gets pumped by Zen trolling and creating all these gas costs, and then just paying the validators, who the validators are like, all right. So Zen is selling with no buyers, and it makes everyone poorer. This basically shows like a value for Ethereum, is that people will make terrible tokens like Zen, and they'll come around, and everybody who gets involved with it gets wrecked. Imagine paying 5 million in gas fees to get something that validators can make for free, and they can sell at free cost on top of your head if you ever add value to that pool. Oh, you added some real value? I have the side that is worth nothing, but you guys somehow think it's worth something. So Hex is buyers who can't sell, making everyone richer. Genius. It's the ultimate store of value. Everyone wins in Hex. Everyone loses in Zen. Now you could be like, oh, well, day one I minted and sold it for a profit right away. Yeah, you can only keep up the hype of something so long when it has a negative feedback loop like that. Oh, I put money in first and I get less out later. Okay, how many times can you do that? Only until you run out of money. The best strategy in crypto, hold something with product market fit. The price actually is encouraged to be, talked about. You want the price to be the primary focus along with the community. If you guys aren't creating value together and you're just destroying it and giving it to another community, I don't know how that could be sustainable. If you're just destroying it and people are getting poorer in your community, pretty much as soon as you buy in Zen, the price goes down because there's bots just extracting value, basically by selling to you what they got for free. So you're like, I'm gonna spend real value on this, and then I'll just instantly push the price down because a bot who got it cheaper than I did is just gonna sell it down at definite profit. I don't understand how people think this is gonna have value. Another way to look at it is Zen is ultimately destructive, whereas Hex is constructive. So Zen is instant loss, and Hex is delayed gratification. If you actually delay gratification with Hex and you do the game where everyone wins together, where we all are stacking our wealth together on top of each other, and it has all the great values of crypto. Your keys, your coins. You can earn yield on it trustlessly. You don't have to trust anybody else. There's no middleman that can screw you. There's no someone who can turn your coins off. They can't steal your coins. They can't inflate them to nothing. They can't change the rules of the system. The code is immutable. That means that no one can go in and edit the code. No one can go and turn off the code. No one can go in and change the parameters. So no one's coming in and being like, well, I feel like saying, we should increase the inflation rate because, and it's like, nope, it's going to be this amount. It's only ever going to be this amount. And we don't have to worry about paying any externalities to dole out that inflation. We only give it to the people who are delaying their gratification at the end of their stake. These people have to come in and buy Hex. To get any of the inflation, you have to buy Hex. You can't get the inflation without buying Hex. How are you going to get it? Tell me how you get Hex without buying Hex in some regard. Now, maybe there's some coin that's like a wrapped Hex thing. You're like, oh, I bought that and got Hex. Like, if you compare that to Zen, you're like, well, I can just get Zen for free. And that's inflation. So I just got the inflation for free without buying the price up. I don't know how people think that that is good for onboarding. Why not just get somebody into something where when they put economic energy in it, they actually increase their wealth? You could actually increase the wealth of yourself by buying something, or destroy it by paying costs and enriching some other group, a tribe that's not your own. If you're not a validator getting these free things, then you're paying these costs to those guys and they're just saying thank you. This is the chart people are defending, saying give it a few more months, give it 8 years. I've never seen something go down so fast, so bad. Buying Hex is a game everyone can win, because whenever you buy, or I buy, or anyone buys it, you increase the value of everyone. Whenever you buy, you make everyone richer. Whenever you sell, you make everyone, including yourself, poorer. The K for K principle. Basically, ETH validator, he wakes up, clicks a button on his phone, it's Zen time, and he hits sell because it's completely free to him. He let his validator run. He's like, sweet, I made $1,000. Oh, there's more value in the pool? Guess I'll start minting even more in my empty space blocks for free. All right, all these validators are just going to catch on and mint it if there's ever free empty space. And then they just sell the price down at zero cost. So how is that going to be good for price? I know I'm saying like a lot of the same stuff. I'm hoping one of these strikes through the noise. It's only a matter of time until these guys who got it completely for free are just going to completely nuke the pool, and that'll be that. Or people will just realize, yo, this is not it. and they'll extract as much value as they can. What's left of whatever their LP was. It's kind of sad. I'm making these videos to enlighten people. I'm sharing a perspective. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but this is basically the worst tokenomics in a failed system state of a crypto. It was meant to onboard people. It got some attention. Maybe it got all this attention because everyone's just bored in the bear market. And there was all this like fake volume as well on the first few days where there was like a V3 guy. I was seeing him doing like 2.2 million of a buy and sell at like the same time. It was either a sandwich bot or a guy just making fake volume for the heck of it. You know, if all these people are trying to stir up interest in something that just makes ETH validators rich, maybe they'll make this stuff look good. Maybe they have an idea of what can get people excited about something enough where they're actually willing to put more money into it. Like imagine buying this ever and thinking it's going to go up, and there's all of these guys who just have the hugest bags ever that they got a zero cost basis, and they just keep sending the price down. Oh, you put in a whole ETH of value? Thank you, sir. And there's always going to be a little bit left in Uniswap because that's how the AMMs work. Now, even though Hex has inflation, it's not inherently bad. It helps the system sustain itself. You're actually able to get good game theory from people and good actions and participation. Long-term thinking comes about whenever you participate in Hex because you're thinking 15 years out. Before Hex, when were you thinking 15 years ahead, 10 years ahead? You know, a lot of people, they didn't have that sort of vision. They were thinking, oh my gosh, like I have to think about what I'm going to do for next week. But when you get Hex and you think about, wow, this is actually how value is created, and we can actually all win together when we all purchase this one thing, and you delay your gratification with no negative externalities due to the inflation model. We just actually use time on our side. We monetized it. I think Hex is pretty much Nobel Prize worthy. And if you look at Xen, it's basically the complete opposite of Hex. They give it to everybody who doesn't deserve it, and they destroy value and give their value basically to Ethereum holders. They have sellers for free, and Hex has buyers who can't sell. Never before have we had something where someone would buy something and provably be like to the market, yo, I'm not going to sell this for like at least 7.5 years because that would just get me my principal back. Now, the people in Xen or supporting Xen, I think everyone has good intentions. They want a fair crypto. They think, hey, no centralized founder, no centralized control, even though that's not true of the coin supply, because these validators can just get as much as they want kind of for free. And so you just have these different people who own a large amount of the supply. I would rather people getting large amounts of the supply be people who buy the price up for years and years and years at a time and don't sell. That's who I want to get the inflation. Not everybody in the world who only can sell once they get it. And I'd be surprised if those validators who got it at zero cost, if there's any value in this thing in a few days or a few weeks, I'd be surprised if those validators didn't just extract all that value instantly. I'll be very impressed if there's some sort of V3 liquidity provider who could keep this on life support forever, and maybe they could make money that way by people getting volume on this coin that only goes down in value because everybody can make it for free. Maybe there's some liquidity play. I don't think even if you have a large amount of the supply that you could convince people that Xen is going to be worth anything more than zero. The longer this goes on, the less and less real value is going to be paired with it. It's one of those hype cycle things. If you have a coin that, oh, I'm not going to sell it, I minted it for free. Well, you never moved the price up to make it look good or help the price for everyone else and yourself ever. All you did was give yourself more supply and become sell pressure. Xen is just a bunch of sellers who get it for free, and they wait for a buyer to come in and thank you. Oh, I'll take that. And people are promoting this stuff. Like, how can you get behind this chart? Imagine wanting more people to know about this chart. I'm not doing these videos so people know about Xen. I'm doing these videos so that the people who do know about Xen or eventually hear about Xen, they can find something that will actually change their life. Something that everyone can win with. Buying Hex is a game everyone can win. If everyone buys Hex, everyone's value goes up, and people who delay their gratification and they hold it even longer, they get some of the inflation of the system. That encourages more holding for a long term, and it's only at a cost to people who want the privilege of being able to sell right now. You're getting diluted by not getting, some of that inflation, but you could be getting it if you just choose to. But you have to buy up the price first and help everybody else. Check out the links in the description. There's some super awesome stuff to protect yourself there. You know, if you don't have a hardware wallet, look into it. I have videos on how to protect yourself in crypto. If you're in stuff that can go up 100x, 1000x, 10,000x in less than 2 years, think about what amount you put in, and if it was 10,000x that amount, would you protect it with a hardware wallet? If the answer is yes, most likely you probably should. A VPN never hurts as well. If you're interacting with all these projects and going to sites and lots of this stuff tracks your IP, and it's just better to not be a target in crypto. Like, we're at the very early stages of some of the best crypto that's yet to come out. We've got pulsechain.com, we've got pulsex.com coming. All right, we got phex coming. That's the Pulse version of Hex that you get a copy of over on the Pulse chain. You onboard pretty much the entire Metcalfe's law of Ethereum users. Over time, they're going to realize, oh, there's value over here on this Pulse chain, and it's actually faster and cheaper to transact, and it's well audited, and it's using code that I'm used to. That seems really well thought out. I'm gonna go over there and check it out. Maybe they end up buying because they like seeing innovation, they like seeing value created, they like more capacity on their blockchain, not less. People get it so backwards with the costs of gas, thinking that that adds value to something. It's like, oh, you're willing to pay this amount, is it worth that amount? It's just not true. Sometimes you just pay a cost and it doesn't help you, it helps somebody else. That's Xen, the anti-hex. It's basically the opposite. It got a lot of attention, or maybe it did. Some exchanges are talking about Xen and stuff. That's pretty cool. Maybe it puts an eye on Hex. Maybe these exchanges somehow will become warmer to Hex after seeing how poorly Xen performed, and then seeing how awesome Hex performed. And somehow they're not listing the thing that actually went up 10,000x, but they're listing the thing that goes down 99.54% in 4 days. So Hex is just the best crypto. It's better than Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin with the proof of work change. I don't know why people aren't just going to hex.com right now. Check it out. Learn about crypto. Learn crypto on the Hex website. What is this fantasy about using the Xen Crypto website? Why would you go there whenever you click the buttons, you literally delete value? You're like, oh, I have ETH in my account, and if I use the Xen website, I lose it. So Xen just encourages people to sell their Ethereum and pump the Ethereum bags that they no longer hold because now they hold Xen, a useless token. Is this actually helping onboard new people to crypto? Hey, maybe this marketing, this outrage marketing, skit stuff, maybe it gets more eyeballs, maybe it doesn't. I'm really just trying to help onboard as many people to crypto as possible as well. I don't think me making this video gets people to quit crypto. I think anybody who's participated in Xen, if you think about it, if you consider the thoughts and the reasoning I have behind all this stuff, I think you'll come to the same conclusion. Maybe Zen's done a good job at getting all this attention because they're like, oh, who would run something that makes you lose 5 million in the first 4 days and you aren't creating value for everybody who holds it? Yeah, that's newsworthy. It's being destructive. Everyone who participates loses. So it's like going to a bonfire and you throw your belongings onto the bonfire and you're like, pretty cool. Yeah, you also destroyed your value? Word. So you're like buddies with those guys, you get affinity with them. But wouldn't you rather get affinity and buddies with people who, whenever you join that group, you made everyone richer, and then you actually delay your gratification for a while, and everyone just gets richer faster because nobody's selling, because people are less likely to sell when they're actually earning inflation by just waiting anyway, which is the best investing strategy in history. Just look at the chart of Ethereum or Bitcoin or Hex from the beginning, and you'll see that, oh no, we're down 95% in a bear market. Near the bottom, by the way, the best time to buy. You don't get rich in the bull, you get rich in the bear. People who buy bear prices and sell at bull prices win. People who buy bull prices, sell bear prices they're the impatient giving their money to the patient. You want to be the patient one in this scenario, not the one thinking you're going to get rich quick by minting something one day, you get double the value the next day. It's not sustainable. That's my opinion. This isn't financial advice. I don't see why we don't just market Hex like we do Xen. And people get upset like, oh, you just want people to buy your bags. It's like, no, dude. I've been around the block. I've been here since 2017. I've seen influencers come and go. I've seen what they talk about. I've seen them delete their posts. I've seen them delete their tweets, doing the margin trading affiliate links, getting everybody wrecked. They get lots of followers. They themselves get rich on their followers' demise. And then those people are wrecked and they don't come back to crypto because they went 100x on BitMEX and lost all their money. We in the Hex community, we have the least detractors of anyone. Sure, we get in a scuffle every once in a while and people have different opinions, but we're still, if you're a real Hexkin and you're locked up for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, you got to get along with those people. And so people are going to be sharing information, sometimes stuff you don't want to hear. But I think what a lot of people have in their hearts is compassion for others. They want others to do well. They try to share the best information that they have, and everyone's just doing their part. So I really appreciate everybody in the Hex community. Also, follow K4K Crypto on Twitter and K4K Crypto on YouTube as well. Lots and lots of videos explaining, wallet security. I wish I would have found information like this even earlier in 2017 when I first got in to crypto. Because going through the influencer bounce around funhouse of check out this coin 100x gem, check out this coin 100x gem question mark, and then all of them proceeding to go rug to zero, vulnerability, inflation bug, oh the founder got arrested, like so many things that go wrong in crypto. And then we have Hex, 1,000 days flawless operation, 10,000x price performance, you hold your own keys, no one can exit scam you. No one can change the rules. It's immutable code. It's not listed on any major exchange yet. Why do you guys think that is? It's so good that all of the exchanges are actually afraid to list it because they don't want that behavior encouraged. Their winning model is getting you to buy the newest thing and trade it constantly. They don't make money if you come to their exchange, buy Hex off, thanks, leaves exchange, stakes for 15 years. How much money they make on that? One trade fee per person? They don't want to encourage that behavior. They want people to come in and I know the price in 10 minutes. I'm going to 100x leverage today. Aw, wicked down. Lost all my money. Like, that's what they want. They want you to lose all your money as fast as you can. So they give you more leverage than you can handle. And they try to get you to think that trading chart patterns and reading a course on lines on a chart is going to make you a millionaire. And the reality is, if you just hold something with product market fit for a few years, sometimes less than 2 years, you make a 10,000x. Imagine that. Or if you want, you can get involved in something where everybody loses because the most people in the world possible can sell it at no cost. They're not going to push the price up ever to benefit you. They're only going to push it down, and they're only going to take the value of anything you put on the other side. There's never been a coin sold by the largest holder of Hex ever. It's possible we may think that the OA has up to 90% of the supply across thousands of wallets or hundreds of wallets, and they've never sold a coin. Whereas Vitalik, Ethereum Foundation, sold the top 2 cycles in a row, dumping on everyone, extracting value from everyone in the market. I think it's dangerous whenever people of influence or power in the crypto community encourage looking into things that don't provide value for the people who participate. And sometimes you can figure that out by flaws in the code. Sometimes it's an inflation bug. And just because something is so new, people think, oh, well, Hex went down really early whenever it came out. Dude, it did not go down 99.54%. This thing is grinding down and almost nobody is like, it's gaining 1 ETH in per day. Like the first day there's 1 ETH in the pool, second day 2 each ETH, then 3. Now it's 4.7. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this up or keep the minting up and keep spending $1 million, $2 million a day in gas for something that only goes down in value, and they transfer that 2 million to the validators. That's why I think encouraging people to have this be their starting crypto or learning crypto. If you want them to learn crypto, just have them go to the hex.com website, read the stuff there. It's some of the best crypto information. It actually warns you about 95 and 85% drops, as it happens in crypto all the time. It's honest about the price. It's honest about the cycles. What other crypto website or coin website tells you this stuff drops 85 and 95% every, so often? Do we call Bitcoin a scam because it went down 85%? Do we call Ethereum a scam because it went down 95%? Do we call Amazon Prime or Amazon a scam because it went down 95% in the 2000s? So sometimes people overvalue things, and I think people even way overvalued Xen early on. Any value a tribe or a tribute to Xen is it's going to be depleted over time by people who have a lower cost basis than you. All right, so here's Hex. This is over, over 1,000 days. So let's look at the price chart. Does this include the earliest? This isn't even the earliest chart, so you could actually get it way cheaper even. But let's just look at this. So if we go from the bottom here, all right, it's over 20,000%. So if you're going up 20,000% in what, like a year? There's like a year, just picked a random spot in its lifetime. If you go up that much, okay, then if you're down, then you're down what, 50% of that? So you're only up 10,000%. Good luck getting that in the stock market or in real estate. Buying 95% dips in crypto is how you make the big money and stuff that actually has product market fit and a good community behind it and good tokenomics. So this is what they list everywhere, and this is what they don't list. This is what they list everywhere. This is what they don't list. It's got to be because they don't want to lose users to a better product that replaces them. They're a middleman. They want to have control. They want to eyeball all your transactions and know, hey, he transferred this much money in, and I know how much everyone else transferred in. I really want to drive these points home, the differences between Hex and Xen. I think people were like, oh, why are you stirring up all this drama? It's like, this is just me talking about something that has lots of value, creates value for people who participate instead of destroying it. It's always possible some people can overvalue something, and then they choose not to value it. But if we're already incentivizing people in almost every system through inflation of a system, then the best model inflation system should be the best. That's why we're even trying new stuff with pulsechain and pulsex where it's actually deflationary. There's not going to be any new coins. You have to buy it or you're not getting any of the supply. And so what do you think that does for price? So there's even more things to be excited about in the future with the Richard Hart ecosystem. We were once a one coin club with Hex, and then when Pulse and pulsex coming out and all this other stuff on Pulse chain, it gets a lot of people thinking about, hey, maybe I split up how much I have in Hex and put it into other stuff. Because like I said, you want to have the best possible things in your portfolio. You don't want to have things like this. I'm only making this video to get on the hype train to help as many people as possible. So there's all this hype around Xen, and I don't know why. Look at the chart. They say they're going to get tons of adoption. How are you going to get adoption if everyone who participates with you loses money? It's like starting a business, but you only lose money forever. How is that sustainable? You're just going to run out and be like, oh man, I wish I didn't start that business I lost only money on. This is fun to talk about. I'm just bringing these points to a head for everybody to listen to decide for themselves. I'm not just fudding for fudding's sake. Like I really do not think Xen will perform at any point in the future. Can't be more clear. Like, it's cool that we got attention for kind of wasting a lot of money on the Ethereum blockchain. Now imagine if we could reach those people in a constructive way by building up the value of something that we all hold and use that money that we all collectively gained, in paper gains. Maybe you sell a little bit of it and then you use that to be able to market more and reach more adoption. You create value, you use some of it to create more adoption. Ultimately, everyone who joins the system wins in Hex. And I think everyone wins together when we all stand together. So I want a united community. I want people to focus on the right things. I hope this broke it down enough for people. I'll go over a few more things. I wrote down a lot of stuff. If half of the blocks of Ethereum are filled, then there's 15 million total, but 7.5 million is not used and the block size won't increase. So I'm just keeping simple math on how the blocks work. You should end up with half of the blocks are able to just mine Xen for free. Okay, zero cost. Only sellers created. 15 billion Xen that can be minted per day at zero cost basis. If someone has all the chain data of like how much potential free space there is for ETH validators on a daily basis, average, that'd be cool data. Would love to send it over. Join the Telegram at t.me/pulse theory. Free to join. All the stuff I have is free to join. I've got a Discord as well. If you check the description, make sure you like the video, subscribe for sure. Subscribe for a cookie. I really want people to attack these points as opposed to my character or neckbeard, which I am waiting to shave until Pulse Chain launch. But yeah, it kind of disappoints me when I see some people like, you try to share value with them and then people come back, they just hate on your character like, oh, your hat looks dumb, something like that. And it's just like, why bother with that? I guess it's engagement, so Thanks. I wish people would focus more on thinking through these tokenomics. I can't believe it got this far without people noticing this stuff, though. Great, I get to point it out for everybody. I'm glad I came out early. Like, if I hadn't said anything at all, maybe Zen gets more adoption and this stuff goes down even more with more people coming in and pushing real value into it. I already know several people who have messaged me saying, hey, I was going to put all this money into Zen. I thought about it and now I'm not going to. And I put it into Hex instead. Guess what? He increased his value and everyone else in Hex instead of just destroying his own value and reducing the value of everyone else in Zen. I think it would have been even worse. There would have been more harm done had I not said anything. We can argue about that, I guess. It's like, oh, maybe I stopped somebody from ever getting into crypto because now someone didn't get wrecked on Zen to be able to go tell their friend. Like, we're already pooling our money together to do some stuff. Why not put it into the thing that everyone benefits whenever someone buys it? And then you take a little bit of profits from that whenever the price has gone up, and you use that to build systems in order to actually onboard more people into cryptocurrency in general. To be quite honest, it's kind of getting scary out there in the world with the CBDCs coming and the Chinese yuan CBDC, and eventually there's going to be a Fed coin. What we really need is everyone in the world to have their own cryptocurrency wallet. So whatever can get everyone to make a wallet. Sure, if the onboarding costs I don't know how you're going to scale it if everyone who gets in loses money in Zen, but I know we can scale it in Hex. And so I think I will live in a better world by putting in effort now, even if it's a cost, to do all this work and do all this research, do all this math, share all my ideas, record these videos, pay for the equipment, pay for the research. I have people editing stuff for me. Like, I'm trying to scale up adoption to crypto to something that I know when people join, they increase the value for everyone, including themselves. And I haven't seen anything else that does it better in crypto. Zen is not it. Zen goes straight to zero. It's built poorly. It does not have tokenomics in mind. You can't just give everybody free stuff and expect them to want to pay for it. In Hex, you're actually creating value for everyone who joins. It's a game everyone can win. And so that's why I support Hex, and it's the most proven thing in DeFi other than Uniswap. Uniswap is also a miracle. Not talking about their coin though, but the actual invention of the AMM. I'll read through my notes here. You destroy value in order to get more Zen. You don't create value when you mint Zen. With Hex, the incentive to long-term hold is high enough to be shown to work. People are actually locking up millions for years, and they had to buy up the price, increasing value for everyone in order to do so. Everyone sees that. If you buy Hex and improve the price, it improves everyone's value. Then we even cryptographically prove we can't sell it for a period of time. So Hex creates buyers who choose not to sell to earn yield, whereas Zen creates sellers with no risk of loss. It's all profit. So ETH Validator says it's Zen time and dumps the market all day, every day, because it's zero cost basis other than the opportunity cost of the gas returning more ROI elsewhere because Zen liquidity value is too low. So literally, if you add value to the liquidity pool, it's only a matter of time before an ETH validator comes along and they accumulate enough of the Zen for free to extract it at no cost to them. So who does Zen benefit? The ETH validators with no cost basis. You'll never get their cost basis without being a validator. They will sell bags for zero cost, and they have multiple X more than you ever will. You hold one while they hold a billion. You call that a fair crypto, basically. A crypto you can't lose money on. That's what it says on the site. Or at least what Jack would say before. He's like, well, how do you lose money on something you get for free? You found a way, buddy. More like a crypto you can't make money on. Unless you're soaking up the initial hype lick or an ETH validator. So literally, if you ever buy it, you make the price go down because you speed up the clock for making it profitable for someone who got it completely for free to make money. Maybe validators aren't into it yet or aren't onto it yet, but they're happy to see people destroy ETH and pay them more for the privilege. There is no reason to buy Zen ever. Why would you buy Zen? To stake it? Or hopefully to sell it for a profit in the future? As soon as you buy it and move the price up, the guy who got it for free just dumps his bags for the real value you put into the pool. And you would never stake Zen, in my mind. You can either wait 365 days for 20% of your minted claim, or you can mint 100% in one day. Let's see, pay the gas cost to earn 20% over 365 days, or you can pay a gas cost and get 100% in one day. It's like, what are these options? And if you look at the usage on the website, there's really almost nobody staking it. People just aren't even bothering because you're just paying gas and losing it. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. We're gonna keep busting out videos, helping out people understand this stuff. At least just putting my ideas out there. This isn't a personal attack on anybody. I hope everyone in crypto stays in crypto and tells more people about it. I hope they tell people about the best parts of crypto. Like if I can see, okay, this is probably going to trend to zero, I'll tell people day one. Hopefully they just realize, oh yeah, it is designed poorly, it'll get a zero. Dude, told people day one before it even launched that it's built poorly and will likely go to zero and all the liquidity will dry up. I told people that in video format, first person. And I just get a bunch of people who are like upset that I shared this information that's available to them. Like if you just read how it works and understand tokenomics and understand that if you give everybody something for free, they're not going to value it and the price will never go up. So now they're just talking about how it's not about price, but how are you going to keep onboarding people if everyone you onboard, and including yourself, you get them to do something where they don't create value but destroy it? Even if it's $1, even if it's 10 cents, why are you getting them to do something where they're just destroying and reducing the value and losing value? Why not get them into something where they're actually increasing the value for themselves and everyone else? And it's been proven to work for over 1,000 days, 10,000x price performance. It just seems like a no-brainer, but I guess people want the new shiny object thing. Maybe that's the game in crypto, but I don't want to be the guy who promoted something that went down 99.54% in 4 days. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, don't get involved with the stuff that goes down 99.54% in 4 days. I'm the guy who tells you that. Like, what's everybody else telling you to do? I hope they didn't tell you to buy it or spend time on it or get other people to try it. Because like, what are we really doing here? We're making the blocks more full, so Ethereum people get more money. You're better off just telling someone, hey, dude, get Ethereum. It lets you do these transactions. Sometimes people do this other thing called Xen, where they lose their money and we get the value because they bought up ETH and then they sold it. I'm only talking about it so that we can save people who still think this thing has legs. Some people are literally telling me like, hey, dude, what are you going to say in 8 years when the inflation's lower? It's like, dude, how many things have you seen go down 99.54% in 4 days and then they were like, oh, it turned out to be the best possible thing I could have invested in? And some people were like, oh, it's asymmetric betting. I only spent a penny on a transaction cost, and are you going to go onboard people with that? Yo, dude, go spend this penny on this thing. It's like, why'd you waste that guy's time? Why are you even showing people a chart of something that goes down that low? I don't think it makes me hypocritical to tell people about why it's silly to show people this thing. It's kind of like meta, I guess. But basically, I want the people who are shilling it as something to promote to new people. I don't think that's the best possible thing to be doing. But hey, you can keep doing it. I just don't think it's going to be the best thing for you or the person you onboarded. If I ever onboarded someone, like say I go to my parents, yo guys, check this out, mint your Xen. All right, son, we set up our MetaMask, we got our ETH. What do you got for us? Well, you go here, you click these buttons, and now you got more Xen. All right, now what? Well, the price just goes down on it, so whatever we paid in gas costs, you're probably not going to get that back. But now you have some Xen, so now you know how that works. And you're like, why didn't you just tell them to go to hex.com, tell them to buy something of that? They push the price up. Then you're like, hey, if you want to get multiple X on this money over the next few years, maybe you think about also earning APY while you're at it, trustlessly, no risk in your own wallet. Wow, what an invention. And then they can make multiple X's on their money plus interest, as opposed to instant loss, no interest, dead coin. But hey, we're getting lots of attention with Xen. It's a bear market. People are bored. So I'm making a video. I'm just trying to help people who still think it will go up in value and they will put money into it. And then the people who have it for free will sell it. If there's going to be someone holding a large portion of the supply, I'm cool with that. It's been a proven working system. People who start companies, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they own large percent of the supplies of their companies. and they are some of the best performing things in the world. Not as good as Bitcoin, not as good as crypto, but pretty good for legacy. And they have a lot of central ownership of the stocks, and it's good for price. Having a big bag holder, someone who has the most to gain by adoption, they have the most to lose as well. So it kind of encourages good behavior of that player to actually allow it to grow. Now, the reason that doesn't work with Xen is because anyone can deplete the pool if there's any value created at no cost. So they don't actually have to push up the price to do anything or delay gratification or anything. They can just keep pushing it down, and some people can actually just push it down at zero cost. There's no reason to ever buy Xen. The validator free mint scales to all levels of inflation or liquidity pool size. For example, if inflation amount was lower, they would still have an advantage over every other normal participant. So this is a problem at every level of adoption. It doesn't matter. Not everyone is going to be an ETH validator, so those guys are just going to be permadumpers forever. And as you get more people who put money in, that's just more value stolen from people who think it has a chance to go up. There's no reason to hold it. There's only reason to sell it. Why introduce people to a crypto coin or crypto with a coin where to participate, you destroy the value and give it to ETH holders? Why not just hold the ETH? You're buying up the ETH price, but then you're selling it for Xen. Then validators extract that, whatever ETH they can from the pool. So you're kind of just sloshing your money around, burning it, and then it goes to the ETH people. The people running bots and actually paying gas fees for Xen are the real ones who lost. They paid gas for something someone can sell infinitely without ever pushing up the price once. This basically means price down for Xen tokenomically and forever. It's like, sure, you could build on top or try something else. Yeah, I just don't see this sustaining for much longer. I'm not sure how long the hype can go. Like, who can just lose 5 million every 4 days and keep pumping those out? Like, I don't know if anyone's thought about this, but like, what if you just launch 2 Xens, 3 Xens? Oh wow, everyone's minting. Oh, we're increasing the gas costs even more. Did we triple the amount of value because people are paying more gas costs trying to get Xen 1, Xen 2, Xen 3? And now we got super gas costs, and so they're paying even more. They're just losing money faster, giving it to the Ethereum miners, Ethereum validators even faster. I don't know if that's my final take on Xen, but yeah, basically it's the complete opposite of Hex, and so I'm not surprised they listed it on centralized exchanges. They list things that go down 99.54%, but they don't list things that go up 10,000x. They don't list things that give you full control of your stuff. They actually go up in price and get you to stop trading. With Xen, the people making money are the guys with the bots, the sandwich bots, the validators who just claim and sell at no cost to them. Those are the guys extracting value from anyone participating. People who are just minting or trying it out, sure, maybe it was sandwich money. Maybe I'm blowing this up too much. Maybe it doesn't even matter. People are like, oh, who would spend money? But I mean, I've seen people say they were going to spend thousands and now they didn't. So if what I'm saying is true and they would have lost those thousands, didn't I save thousands of dollars? Why not make a video and save thousands of dollars and potentially get that person to get outsized return in something that helps everyone involved? I would love to see some responses to this video. Just putting all these ideas out there. Maybe there's some things I'm missing. I would like to see more adoption in crypto. I do think that is a huge factor. I think the best way you do that is actually by having the best price chart and getting the best behaviors in the people so that they actually stick around every cycle and we're not losing community members every cycle. That's the problem with a lot of these cryptos is you lose a lot of people during the bear and then they never come back because they have no reason to. Because they got burned. So they came in and they were like, oh, sweet. I got into crypto. My friend told me that this Xen crypto is going to go up 10 million X. He gets in. He puts in all his money. He doesn't know much about the project. He just believes an influencer told him it was 100x gem, the next one. I literally have seen videos of people saying next 100x gem and being legit serious. And so some people are literally putting their life savings into something that goes down 99.54% in 4 days. It doesn't matter if you're the guy who only does 10-cent transactions. Some people are messing around with this stuff with their like life savings. So with great power comes great responsibility. I think it's my responsibility to share the truth. I've always been for the truth. I'm not going to just sugarcoat everything and tell people, oh, just only lose a little bit of money. I'm going to tell you, don't lose a little bit of money. There's a famous quote by I think it's by Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger, where it's just don't lose money. Literally, don't lose money is the quote. There is wisdom in that with how silly it sounds. If you don't have to lose money, don't do it. And if you can make money by actually getting people to participate in something that benefits all, that seems like the most wholesome, best outcome for everybody. That's what I'm all about, is bringing everybody up, giving everybody the opportunity that I have in crypto, that I've experienced, that I learned from Richard Hart for free. I didn't have to pay him for a course. I didn't have to pay, I mean, I paid attention. I listened. I spent a lot of time just absorbing information in crypto before I started talking about anything. I think that's very valuable. I think that we all learn in this crypto space at a fast pace. Like, we're all fast learners. We're all ahead of the curve, I think. But this stuff is constantly changing all day, and I know there's way too much stuff to keep track of. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm showing you why I think this stuff. Comment down below what you'd like to see me talk about next. I just think, I find it so interesting that Xen turned out to be a complete, like a big oofer, you know? And I'm really surprised by how many people have taken a liking to it, regardless of what Richard has told people in the past for a long time. Like, costs are costs, benefits are benefits. You do not create value by having more costs. All people participating in something that is actually innovative and actually creates value whenever people participate. Now that is innovative, that's awesome, that's powerful. That's hex.com. So if you're new to crypto and you're watching this video or you've seen a clip, check it out. Check out the description for any other extra, like if you want to get discounts on stuff, there's discounts down there. Some stuff that keeps you safe in crypto, because this is the best performing asset class in history. And people need to take it serious whenever you take positions in this stuff, because I know people who put in $100 and now they have $1 million, literally in less than 2 years. If that's what you want, and then you better protect that stuff. This has been fun. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. There's more stuff coming. I have a lot of cool ideas. I got a lot of cool stuff to share. Keep helping people out there. I think as long as people have good intentions, and they take in constructive criticism, and they think about stuff logically, think it through, I think we're gonna have a bright future for everyone. People can keep talking about this coin if they want. I really do think it will just keep going to zero until nobody wants to buy it. And so that's why I won't probably talk about it much anymore, unless it keeps staying a hot topic. You know, if it keeps getting lots of attention, and it's like, well, if that's what people are going to look at, I'll talk about it, but I'm going to try and help them into something that actually goes up in value and helps everyone. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.